Right, so tonight I am taking Tia out first, and we are going to be working on our heel work in distracting environments. So we're going to be walking through a woodland area and practicing our heel work to start off with after we've settled ourselves in. And then we're going to be looking at our hunting. Now, I've been doing a lot of work with her off lead recently because I'm trying to develop that connection and improve her off lead work. However, tonight I'm going to be working her on the long line. Couple of reasons. We're going to a new place, of somewhere that she's not been before, so I don't want her to bugger off and end up getting herself in trouble. So for safety reasons, she's going on a line to start with. And then also, when she's off lead, she is still having a little bugger about to start with. She is barking to start with. It's not lasting as long. It's definitely getting better, but I want to do some practice where we don't have any of that happen. So if she barks and she's off lead, although I stop and I kind of shut myself down and we don't progress any further until she stops and decides to check in and say, oh, what's going on? That can take a little while because she's getting reinforced by the environment when she's barking. So when she's on a line and she barks and I stop, she stops. So a bit more practice of that and a bit more rehearsal of that is going to be good. It's also going to mean that I can keep her close and we can work on actually getting a bit more progress and a bit more structure to our hunting. Was when we're off lead at the moment, I would say freestyle is probably quite a good word to describe it. We definitely wouldn't be accepted on any shoots right now. So that's what we're going to focus on, but we may get there and I may completely change this plan, but we will see how we go.
Okay, so we've been here for a few minutes now and Tia has been to the toilet and settled herself in, so we are now going to start practicing our heel work. Just to show you, we are in kind of a wooded environment, so it is quite interesting. And people are playing rugby in the field next door, so quite loud as well. So be interesting to see how we get on. You. Good. Good girl. Then I'm just going to wait for her to check back in with me. And I'm going to look to increase my rate of reinforcement when we get started, do a couple of reps and then take a little break. That was going beautifully. And now I've lost her. Good girl, here. You'll notice I'm rewarding her on the move. I wouldn't normally do this, but with her, forward motion is probably more reinforcing than the actual shoot itself. Yeah, I'll take a break. And so that's why I'm not stopping. I find if I stop with her, she loses interest quicker because she becomes more engaged with the environment. But generally speaking, I would want to stop and then reward so that my training is cleaner. I'm also trying, failing sometimes because I'm not very observant, to click her when her focus is forward because she has previously had a habit of just staring up at me the whole time, and actually she's got a bit of a weird bum wiggle that goes on. So to try and keep her alignment better, I'm trying to reward her when she's got forward focus. But that's going quite well so far. I'm quite pleased. Okay, so we're now going to have a little go at doing some hunting. This is the area we're going to be working. She's on a long line because I want to work on keeping her close, trying to prevent her barking, and I'm probably going to throw out a few bits for her to hunt and find. As you can probably tell from her body language, her arousal has increased. So I'm not going to be able to film this. I'm going to focus purely on her, and I shall report back on how we got on. So first attempt was very successful actually, no barking, stayed close, turning on my shoulder beautifully. I will have a go at filming this next part, and it may all go to pieces, but we shall see. Get on. Good. There's a ditch. Good girl. Something so give us some time. Well done. She's the girl. Beautiful. Get it. Oh. Good girl. Lovely. Good girl. Okay, so we've done literally just a couple of bursts of hunting. Second one, she stretched a little bit further. It was a new different patch of ground, and her arousal had gone up, so I'm not surprised. She didn't bark at all, which was fab. And she has now just started taking food again after doing a few circuits to bring her arousal back down. She's checking in with me again. We're walking together. When I stop, she stops, which is what I want. In my head I'm saying, oh, once she's calmed down, let's do one more little bout. But that tends to be a phrase that I say which ends up getting us in trouble. Because if I say just one more, we do it and it all goes to pot. And actually I'm quite pleased with what we've achieved so far. So I am going to stop there. We will settle ourselves back down, practice some more heel work through the ground that we've just covered, and through the woods. Might do a few 6 days or something else in there just to mix it up a bit, but that will be us done. So overall, pretty successful session. Okay, so that is the end of my training session with Tia. Can you believe how dark it has got in just half an hour? It's ridiculous. Winter is definitely coming. So, the session. I'm really pleased with how it went. She walked really nicely in the woods, considering how distracting an environment that is, how heavily scented that is, and also with the people playing rugby in the field next to us. She's a bit sound sensitive, so loud noises, clapping, all of that stuff. She gets a bit woo, and loses her marbles slightly, and she coped really, really well with all those factors. Her hunting, she didn't bark, so that's a big plus, big achievement. Still not great. Still lots of running rather than actually hunting, but she's staying more connected with me. She's turning on my shoulder beautifully. The second bout she didn't when she couldn't see me, but it's nice to see that she is actually becoming more connected with me while we're out. She's using her nose well, even though she is running a lot of the time. Found both items that I placed out really quickly. As soon as she ran in that area, she scented it and found it and brought them straight back every time, so that's also a nice little win.
Also, she did a really nice recall whilst hunting. So whilst her nose was down, she recalled really nicely, straight back to me without any hesitation. So lots of wins in there. Still, obviously, loads to work on, but I want to try and focus on the positives as much as I can because it's so easy to dwell on when things go wrong. So really positive. We then settled ourselves back down and heeled back through the woods. I threw in a few little games, some stop whistles, some hand touches, some middles, just to make it a little bit different and keep her engagement. But overall, a very successful outing. So let's hope that success continues.